G'day everyone, Paul Stoner, CEO, and I'm joined today by Greg Lewis from FG Games, and we're going to talk on the very complex issue of mould. Particular areas of the house, we won't get right into the whole house because it is very complex, and Greg's going to roll out a few words that will, you better have your pen ready and write them down, because but mould, and in particular for the tenants or owners that are watching, you've moved in somewhere, you don't have mould, there's no signs of mould, and then 3 months down the track, all of a sudden, you think, my God, what is that? That looks like mould. First of all, I'll give you the good news, it's not going to kill you, and Greg's going to give us the news of possibly in particular areas what it may be.
Thanks, Paul. You make it sound as if it's a complex issue, but it has a very fundamental origin. The basic origin of mould is internally generated humidity. The fungus spore Aspergillus niger, which is the basis of mould, likes an environment featuring three conditions: moisture, ongoing moisture, still, and shade. So give him a still, moist environment and you'll have Aspergillus niger, you'll have common black mould.
So let's break that down. So the first most common area for that is the bathroom, and you've done lots of presentations for us over the ventilation. Let's talk about the ventilation side of things.
You're right, Paul. The bathroom generates, in an average Melbourne winter with an average shower, generates something like 10 litres per hour in the bathroom. Now, that moisture in the air, in that warm air, has to go somewhere. The best place for it to go is to be exhausted out, either through the ceiling or out the wall penetration by a decent fan. And it's imperative that for the fan to do its job, the bathroom window is kept shut and the bathroom door is kept shut while showering.
Yeah, so not open like we've all done over the years.
We're listening for the baby crying, or we've got natural exhibition tendencies or whatever, but bathroom door shut, window shut, and fan operating. What's more, I like that fan to operate well after the shower is finished, because what you can't see is the likely generator of the humidity. And when you open that door, up goes the internal levels of humidity.
Yeah, amazing. So then, next one usually is laundry.
Yes, the laundry and the washing machine, the tumble action, anything that's agitating, and of course those endless cups of coffee that you have to keep you going through the day, the boiling kettle,
correct,
and the drying clothes dryer next to the heater, they're all putting moisture into the air. And while the air is warm, of course, it can hold that moisture. Yep. But as soon as you turn off the heating to go to bed at night, snuggle up in the doona and breathe your warm air into the cooling air, the air can't carry that humidity. Human being normally puts out about 1 litre every 8 hours. So if there's two of you in the bed, there's 2 litres gone somewhere, because the air can't hold it.
So a perfect situation for this is, so we're getting into the colder months now. You wake up in the morning, there's a little bit of condensation inside the windows from you having slept at night, and people think, oh, what is that? Well, that's the condensation. So that's
a very good point.
Yeah.
Now, why on the windows? Why on the windows?
That's right.
Basically on the windows because it's got a very low dew point. The windows reflect the cool night air. Yeah. But the walls, of course, are similarly cool. It's just that you can't see the condensation there. And so, too, I'm sad to relate, is the underside of the mattress or the U-Butte leather coat that's in the built-in robe. They're all cool. They've all attracted the overnight cooling air and condensation, and they're all candidates for mould.
That's right. Yeah. So ventilation in all of these circumstances, and pretty much every room in a house will have a certain amount of ventilation, and you need good ventilation.
I like high wall vents. Yeah. High wall vents will work 24/7. The warm air that's got the humidity, of course, it's got the moisture goes up to the ceiling.
Yeah.
The vents allow the cool air displaces warm air, the cool air to come in, trickle in 24/7, thereby diluting the humid air within the dwelling. If you do nothing else, if you say, look, I can't even heat my toes at night, let alone the whole of the unit, the very least you could do is run a small fan during the day to circulate the air, because that was number 2 of the Mould's requirements. He likes it still. So if you give him moving air, he's not happy.
So if I was going to ask you, if I was moving into a new place today and I said, Greg, what can I set up to minimise mould in my house, and certainly those particular areas, what would your advice be to anyone?
Religiously use the bathroom fan. That's 10 litres an hour. Use the bathroom fan with the doors and windows shut, and use it for an extended period. Use it all day if necessary, if you get the streaks coming down from the bathroom wall. That would be my first. Be judicious in your thought of managing how you're going to dry your clothes. Be judicious in how you're going to use your heating throughout the unit, so that once you understand that humidity is the prime cause of condensation, ergo mould, once you understand that, then you do your job like everything else. You manage it. It's no different than putting the garbage out on a weekly basis. You manage the humidity in your dwelling.
You just came up with the typical one, and I've done it over the years when I've rented apartments. You do your washing, you've got the clothes horse, and you've got the stuff drying in your apartment next to the gas heater or whatever it may be, and it creates more condensation or humidity within the apartment than it usually would. So what would be the correct way of ventilating during that process? Because you can't stop people from doing it. It's just people want to get their clothes dry.
Well, the best thing to do is to run the air conditioner, of course, because that takes moisture out of the air, and it via the compressor it squeezes the water out of it. Now it's expensive to run, and there's very few units are equipped with air conditioners. So you go to the next best thing. You go to your bathroom fan or your kitchen fan, which is located up where the humid air is, and you run it, and you run it, and you run it, so that you can normalise that amount of moisture that's in the air. Because as soon as you turn the heater off, that air that can't carry that moisture, and the moisture will condense. And it will condense in your best shoes or in your handbag or up there into your bedclothes, and there's that musty smell, and there's that concern about the presence of mould. Yeah.
So for the layman here, if in your particular apartment or house, number 1, make sure the fan areas are clean and uncluttered, because you do see a lot. You go in and they're dusty, they're full of dust. They're there to do a job, and that is to take the moisture out of a room, not the smell. It's for the moisture. So if you listen to Greg at all, maybe leave them on all day. It's not a bad thing, because it is constantly taking the moisture out.
It's very cost effective.
Yeah. Really complex issue, but number 1 is moisture, or the mould is created by moisture, which is created by you. So just work out how to get that moisture out of the air.
First of all, if you've got an ongoing issue with it, I urge all of your clients to get themselves an hygrometer. And once they've got that hygrometer, they will monitor the amount of humidity that's in the air at various stages of their daily lives, and once they see that getting past a critical point, they will know that this is the precursor to condensation and mould.
Now, obviously, this is condensation mould that we're talking about. If you have water leaks or other issues in a property, that needs to be addressed first, because they will be related to the leak, which is collecting wherever, and that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about human developed mould.
That's correct. Internally generated humidity.
Greg, thanks. It's a hard one to get through, I know, but just if we could give you one little snippet, is use those fans. don't open the windows, use the van.
Well, there's no point opening the windows, Paul, because all you're doing is letting cold air. So what you're doing is you're lowering the dew point and you're taking the air's ability to carry moisture, and you'll lose your wife because she hates being cold.
But obviously, if you have any issues with mould, call FG James. They're here to help, and we thoroughly recommend them. Thanks for watching, everyone.